In the spotlight, a twisted tale unfolds. Gypsy Rose, stories dark and cold. Lies woven deep, a web so wide. Truth buried where the shadows hide. Gypsy Rose, the mask you wear behind deceit, a mother's nightmare. You took the night, you shattered trust in the echoes of betrayal, ashes and dust. Silent cries behind closed doors. Secrets tangled in the floor. It's a life built on story. All the disguise beneath the surface. Truth never lies. From pain and fear, the darkest flight. A daughter's need in the day of God. The world watches, the tale repeats. Lies and truth in bitter beat. Gypsy Rose, the mask you wear behind deceit, a mother's nightmare. You took the night, you shattered trust in the echoes of betrayal, ashes and dust. No more shadows, no more lies. The truth remains where silence dies. Gypsy Rose, the story told of a twisted heart and a soul gone cold.
Hello, how you doing? Get excited. You know why? You guys, Gypsy Rose. I want everybody to understand something right now before we get started. Welcome back to my channel. This is Baby Girl's World, okay? And in my world, I get comments sometimes, but this has already been talked about. This is not new news. I know, okay? The truth train isn't about the drama bullshit going on TikTok. If you are about the drama and that kind of bullshit, please, by all means, find a channel that's going to talk about that. What I care about is getting not the lies and bullshit to mainstream media so that people stop supporting her and get her the fuck off the internet and away from regular society. I'm sorry. I don't mean to get this upset, but I am on the truth train. And the truth train involves telling what really happened over and over and over, picking through everything, finding new things to talk about through the evidence from the past, not the drama going on now. What I care about is seeing to it that she's off and basically like a prisoner in her own fucking home, because everybody out there is going to find out who she really is. Through what? Through what? Choo choo. Chuck, 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 chuck. Come on. Or how I picked apart something. Because I got some good shit to talk about that nobody talks about in this video coming. And I'm telling you right now, that's all I do is pick through all the old shit, all the old stories. Sit there and do nothing but pick through it, trying to find more shit that I can prove that Gypsy Rose is guilty as fuck and is a part of the unaliving of her mother's Rod. You were a piece of shit father to Gypsy and a piece of shit husband to Dee Dee, and you are a sick bastard that cheats. That's all I got to say about you. All I care about is that when Gypsy goes outside every day, everybody knows the truth. That's what I want. Would you guys allow Charles Manson to get out of prison and just do as the fuck he pleased? Hell no. Would you guys allow Jeffrey Dahmer to get out of prison so that he could fucking rape men all the fucking time still? Hell no. Why the fuck is this bitch sitting out in a regular society acting as if she's somebody great, some fucking celebrity? No, you're not, Gypsy Rose. You are a fucking murderer. Now, I'm going to take a second here because I need to calm down. I'm really upset because all of you out there should be on the same train saying, yes, that's right. We need to get this shit out. We need to keep talking about it. We need to keep pushing it, right? But no, you guys want me to talk about, is the baby real? I don't know. What Gypsy do when she was cleaning her house here? And oh, Gypsy. Okay, now let's end it. Sorry. When I get upset about something that I'm passionate about, listen, when I first started my channel, there was a person, and my subscribers, I hope you're watching. I love you. Cindy, I believe your name is. Oh God, should I say that? Oh, I'll blank it out. Anyway, but she used to call me Unfiltered Mel because my channel was Mel, aka Baby Girl, but I changed it. So I come here to talk about the findings that I've come up with in the evidence from the past to keep on riding this truth train. Chugga, 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 chugga. We're coming for you, Gypsy. Chugga, chugga, Gypsy. Truth train's coming for you, Gypsy. Had posted a video with Gypsy in it that's really horrible, and it kind of reminds me of that brownie video with her and Nick. I'm just saying. The way
Bad Santa, you don't want to watch it because you've seen it, you said, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you've seen Bad Santa?
Yes.
Okay, what happens?
Okay, so there's this guy.
Right. I told you that literally nothing of what you just said is accurate at all. And it's...
Doesn't he get like a blowjob or something?
he's got like the camera, everything, just weird. And then I was watching his live stream, or not his, but he was a guest on, I forgot her name. Oh, Bev. All right. What about Joe?
I mean, I don't really know much about this guy. I mean, I know that he's
sending your wife gifts, or I'm sorry, Gypsy. He's sending her gifts.
Yeah, Gypsy knows him very well. What do you think about that?
I mean, I know who he is. He's been like a supporter of Gypsy for, the longest time, but
he said he was a scary stalker. So why is she engaging with him?
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't tell you. I don't think that.
Did you even know before this? Before it was exposed, did you even know?
I don't think it's anything to worry about. It's nothing serious. It really ain't that deep. It's just some dude on the internet. Like, I don't really care. He's not showing at my house. He's not dropping in like.
If I start sending you gifts for the baby and yourself, you think Gypsy would mind if I did that?
What's that? Say it again.
I would never send anything to your home.
If I started sending you gifts and your baby gifts, but
I mean,
do
that's
you
not
think
that
Gypsy
uncommon.
would
We
be
get
cool
gifts
with
all the
that?
time from people, so like it really isn't that weird to me. What?
Christy said he was a creepy, scary stalker.
And that he had a pattern of dangerous behavior.
She said it
The guy is scary. The guy is scary.
I think that you guys are being a little bit too dramatic about it, and I don't think it's that.
Being aloof
He hasn't showed up
about
at my house. He hasn't sent anything to my personal address. Maybe her PO box or maybe Christy's house, but like nothing to my house. And I don't really think it's that deep or crazy.
Do you?
Oh, and Sheena just said it. Yeah,
You're working.
Listen. I'm probably not as in touch as you guys are. I know, gorgeous. I know what you want. What you want, baby love? What you want? Come here. Come here. Oh, come here. Gypsy's got the flu.
Oh, no. I got the flu vaccine.
Come here, gorgeous.
Hey, Ken, are you mad at Christy right now?
No, I love Christy.
Okay.
We're quite proud. We would never. I mean,
Gorgeous angel.
sorry?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking to Aurora.
Talking to Aurora.
No, we don't do that. At least me. At least I don't put up with it. I mean, and I don't see the people I associate. I don't do that.
No, we all think that that's weird. The majority of us think that that's
Well, good. I'm glad that y'all can agree with that.
I haven't even looked at the pictures.
We agree with that. I mean, it's not important for us to see Aurora. I mean, everybody wants to see a baby because they're cute, but at the same time, we don't have to. It's not
Right.
and
We understand you're very busy. You've got a lot on your plate, but I really would just consider looking into how these pictures came out because you might be surprised.
Well, I mean, I don't need to look into it. Okay, I mean, I'm not. Listen.
Can't keep turning your
I know
head
that you're
like
not
that.
going to agree with me, and I'm not going to agree with you, and I'm not going to try to get you to be on my side. But I can tell you with 1,000% certainty, and you don't have to believe a word I'm saying. You can think that I'm ignorant, you can think that I'm in the dark or whatever, but we 1,000% are not behind any of these leaks of anything.
Do you guys have any intentions of releasing
I would literally
her?
bet my life on it. Like, I know for a fact we are not. We have done our hardest and we've tried our best to keep Aurora's face off the internet. I mean, but also, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not that stupid either. Like, I understand also that it's kind of inevitable that this is going to happen. Like, at the end of the day, like, we live in a small town. a lot of people know who we are. Someone's going to see her. Someone's going to spot her. Someone's going to try and take it upon themselves to snap a picture of her. Like, this was inevitable. It was never not going to happen. Either,
Don't
whether
you
it be
think
now
though that
or...
Gypsy's taunting her by putting her right up there with 9.2 million people to view her with an emoji over her
No,
face?
I don't think so. I mean, I think that Gypsy is a mom. Gypsy is a mom, and she's exploring motherhood, and she wants to show,
Why doesn't she do that on
the
her private
milestones of
page
her
instead of
life.
her
And so
public?
the best that she can do is, I'm going to show pictures of me and my daughter, but I'm going to also put an emoji over her face to block her face. Because unfortunately, there are a lot of nasty, negative people out there who are going
people on the internet
to
are
say
gross.
shitty, awful things, and we're trying to protect her from that. You guys can snark on me, you can snark on Gypsy all day long, but we're trying to prevent Aurora from being the target of all this nonsense.
The majority of us can support that. I absolutely.
Okay, and I appreciate that, but you have to also understand. You have to also understand.
Can I just talk for a second?
Sure.
A lot of people on Gypsy's side, my husband passed away, and certain people on Gypsy's side post my husband's gravestone, post his picture.
Well, I don't support that at all. I don't support that at all. That's not cool. That's not
if I
cool.
talk about them and it's just me, that's fine. They can do whatever they want, but do not go after my late husband.
And I agree with that. That's not a good thing to do. And anybody who is doing that, that's not cool. And I do not
appreciate
support that.
Just like we shouldn't go after your baby because she's
It's Sheena, Ken. It's fucking Sheena.
Well, listen, I don't keep in touch with everybody or what they're doing, but all I can say is that to that regard, I will say that is awful. I don't support that. I don't respect that, and that should not happen. And that's my opinion. But whatever anyone does on the internet, I can't be responsible for. I can tell you what I.
No, of course not. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that, our side gets blamed for a lot of stuff, even though I can speak for everybody here on this panel, in this chat. We do not, we will never say anything bad or post anything about Aurora. We won't. We just won't.
Okay. She's an innocent baby, she shouldn't be the target of anything. And there are some people out there, I'm not saying you guys are. I mean, I don't.
Right. I know, you don't keep up with everything, but there are people on Gypsy's
Don't
side
keep up with everything. I honestly don't. And there are some people who do make it like their entire personality to talk about Gypsy every single day and post about her every single day, and which is weird to me. But it is what it is. I guess people need to make their money or whatever, get their internet clout or whatever. I'm not saying any of you are. I'm just saying that there are some people out there who do.
Of course.
Okay, and that's not an unfair statement. Okay, and then there are some also who specifically want to talk about Aurora and want to post her pictures without her consent and make it their entire content, make it their entire platform, and that's gross to me. It's like this is a child, this is a baby. Like, what is wrong with you? That's my standpoint. But
I can speak for everybody in the chat and everybody on panel right now that we do not support that.
Nope. And I feel exactly the way that you do.
I don't even know what Aurora looks like, and it's none of my
I don't want to know. I really don't either. I haven't seen pictures or anything like that. I'm sure she's adorable. I mean,
she's so cute.
crazy.
She's falling asleep right now, drinking her bottle in my arms.
Having her birthday party, her Miss Rachel.
Yeah, that's the plan. She loves Miss Rachel, of course, as most little kids do.
Yeah.
And her birthday's on the 28th, and we're planning a little family get together, a little Miss Rachel themed party. It's gonna be fun.
Good. Will it be in Louisiana? Well,
Yeah, it's gonna be at my house. It's gonna be at my house here in Louisiana.
Nice. Is your dad gonna be able to make it, or?
No, probably not. My dad and I. Well, he lives in New Jersey now. He just moved there. But I don't think he's gonna be able to. Yeah, he moved from Florida to New Jersey.
Okay.
But my mom's coming, my brother's coming, and of course all of
You love Raina. You love Raina here.
Yeah, good. She's an amazing lady.
She is. How many grandchildren does she have? 11.
Gosh, I'm a terrible uncle. I don't even know how many nieces and nephews I have anymore.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Older than me and has
That's a lot.
12 grandchildren, and she adores Aurora. We know that she's always been there for her.
Yeah, she's been great.
Good. Well, I'm glad she's coming to visit. That'll be amazing. That'll be an amazing Christmas.
I keep seeing this person talk about a full bed. We have a queen bed, just so you know. But anyway, but yeah, it's gonna be a great time. It's gonna be a great time.
What happened to the old bed? I thought you liked a king size. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, but we got rid of it and we got a queen instead. And I love it. It's
Oh, you do?
more comfortable.
That's so funny. My husband would never.
Yeah, I'm kind of a side sleeper on the side of the bed.
Yeah.
And the king was just a lot. So we have the queen now, and it's perfect. It's perfect.
Oh, good. Well, sometimes that's a good move.
Yeah.
More space and stuff in the room. The king size takes up a lot.
It does take up a lot of the space in the room, but our master bedroom is like huge. But
Oh, it's Starlight. Starlight has to come on. My boyfriend is an ex-professional football player, so we need.
Hey, whatever happened to Morbid? Where's he at these days?
He's I don't know. He's
Taking a break.
coming back.
He's been taking a break for like 9 months. Like,
I just think he's
I know,
tired
but
of
he said
covering
he's
it,
coming
covering
back.
Gypsy, maybe. He's doing other projects.
okay. Does he have a new YouTube handle now, or?
I don't know.
No,
I
it's
know
still
that he's had like
Morbid X.
multiple in the past. Like,
He's
that's kind of
coming
what he
back.
does.
He's coming back in January.
How
He's
do you
got a
know?
whole. Huh?
He said that.
He went live the other night.
He said on his live.
Did he? Well, I mean, does he still like post his lives or no?
No, he doesn't post them. He said he's coming back to that. I think in January.
Says, you guys sit there and make fun of her disability and call her deleted. Yeah, and that she lied about where all of her fucking surgeries and everything else were needed because of that. And they didn't even know what was going on until 2011. So Dee Dee was just trying to figure everything out. It was what the doctor thought was needed because they couldn't figure the mystery out, right? And here you have him. You making fun of her disability. This is a bitch that her feelings don't matter to me. At all. At all. No, she doesn't fucking feel real love. She feels infatuation. She feels codependency. But I don't think she feels real love. I think she fakes it. I do remember the video, you guys. I got so heated up, I forgot. Anyway, I'm so sorry. We got member of the video, bitch. Oh, it's Brittany Doris 5922. Yeah, she's my newest one. There you go. Love you, bitch. Thank you for becoming a member. And oh my God, you guys, I have a confession to make. All this time, I thought I put my membership at $1.99. I went and looked at it. I have it at $2.99. I didn't mean to. I really didn't. I'm going to change it. And I feel awful because I've been advertising it as $1.99. And then I look and I'm like, why did I put $2.99? I don't even remember doing that. So I deeply apologize. I truly do. I'll change it to that $1.99. I don't know what to do about the people that have already paid the $2.99. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do about it. I'll figure it out. But I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. There's also this guy called Joe, I believe, on TikTok who's going hard for Gypsy, sending her gifts to her P.O. box for her and Aurora. Don't you feel a little bit weird about that? Or are we grooming another autistic man? So who are you planning on taking out now? Because you know how autistic men are because of your interactions with Nick that we watched in those silly ass videos you posted. Nice little dance too. Now you have a man who's even what I've heard. I don't know for sure. This is speculation. I've never seen the guy, but according to Fancy, the man is autistic.
Hey guys, it's Fancy, and you're watching the Good Wives Network, and oh my goodness, do we have a lot to talk about today. Holy cannolis. You guys are in for a treat. I am just, I'm blown away. So, recently, Into the Weeds podcast, along with several other content creators, came together to be able to obtain the videos and more of the FOIA that we had not had in the past. And I'm very thankful for those that have done this. Thank you very much, Into the Weeds podcast and the others, for getting this for everybody. These videos, let me tell you, they are not for the faint of heart, and they are a doozy. So I'm going to play the beginning of one of them for you. This was one that they shared last night. There is supposedly over 200 of these. It's going to take them a very long time to get through them and out, and we'll be covering them as they come out and what we can do, and if we can get them ourselves, we're going to try. So anywho, let me play this one for you because, oh boy, we got lots to talk about. And we're going to do so today over on YouTube at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 1 p.m. Central and noon for Pacific. Alrighty, here we go. Let's play this clip.
Master, it is your one and only Demona, your slave forever and ever. Well, today is our happy 1-year anniversary. And, I'm so excited. This past year has been amazing. It has been the most adventurous, wild, almost kind of like story almost, because things like this usually only happen in books. Well, as you can see, I changed my hair color, but I hope you like it. And I'm wearing my favorite color plus your favorite color, black. And well, they are vampire colors. So, and what makes us so unique from other couples is that you and me have a vampire and human relationship, which I would think vampires would want to date other vampires, but I'm quite lucky that you want me. And I know that there are probably female vampires out there, but I'm very happy that
seriously?
You want me. Being with you has made me almost feel like a new person. When I met you, I felt that's him, that's my soulmate.
Enough, guys. I just can't roll my eyes hard enough.
To be honest, the way I view us is kind of like twins. Because you might know, since you're very wise, that twins, if one of them gets cut, let's say that one of them like cuts their finger, the other twin will feel it and be like, that's weird, I didn't cut my finger. But then they'll talk to their other twin or whatever, and their other twin might not even know it, but their finger got cut. And, you know, the other twin will feel it. And that's how I consider us almost, is that even though we're so far apart, if one of us is hurting, the other will hurt. And so if like you hurt, I'll hurt. And it's hard being away from your soulmate because it feels like you don't know what's happening to them in that moment, but then when you know that they're all right, your mind is at ease and you just feel a whole lot better. And I feel like I'm linked to you, mind, body, and soul. So, and I think that's the way it should be. You know, I think that we've been open and honest with each other about our feelings and about every day-to-day life. And
you've been honest with
I know I've made some mistakes. I'll admit it, I have a habit of being kind of a know-it-all at times.
You don't say.
And like recently, me and Gypsy forgot the password for our Facebook, and we just changed it without even telling you or asking you if it's okay. And that was a bad move on our part. You know, it's not fully my fault, and it's not fully her fault. It's both our fault. And so now we know before we do anything, ask you. Because you are our master. You are responsible for us. We are y'all bitches, I guess.
Do you see this face? This is the face of somebody who couldn't have asked for anything more from these, and this is just the first one. They played last night on Into the Weeds podcast, and Starlight's playing some today. There's I think there's 4 videos total, maybe 3 or 4. And personally, I don't agree with playing Nick's jail calls. They're not going to tell us anything. They're not going to give us some aha moment like Gypsy's did. He's just a person talking to his family, and he's probably scared. And I know people were making fun of it last night. I don't agree with that. What we do know is this means 100% certain all of this should have been entered into evidence, and she should have been tried for first-degree murder, and she should have gotten life just like Nicholas. She is the planner. She is the one behind all of this. She is the orchestrator. She is the manipulator, the groomer, and it's pretty frightening that this woman is now running around amok in society having babies. If you'd like to hear our thoughts more on these videos and see them for their entirety, please come on over today at 2 p.m. Eastern, so in about 13 minutes, onto YouTube, The Good Wives Net, and we will be playing and discussing. We've got lots to say, me and Mac. So have a good one from The Good Wives, serving up true crime, one dish at a time.
So why are you allowing him to send you gifts? Why are you interacting with him? This is why you should not be on social media.
So Gypsy is worried about privacy, but hands her address to a stalker. Be serious. And the fact that Ken is cool with it is wild. He deserves better. No woman should be taking gifts from random men online. Come on now, Gypsy, do better.
This is exactly why. And also, the many cases that happened after you got out of prison that were almost exactly the fucking same as to what you did. Because you put that shit in kids' heads.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard 2.0. I'm sorry, but this case just has so many similarities to Gypsy's. Listen, girl who is 14 and her boyfriend charged as adults in plot to take her mother's life. This is out of East Point, Michigan. It's a 14-year-old girl and her 17-year-old boyfriend. Allegedly, the 17-year-old crept into the house and tried to keep the mother from breathing while she was sleeping. They have been charged as adults for this plot to take her mother's life. Luckily for this mother, the boy ran out of the house after being confronted by other family members. The police determined that the two teens planned this. The minor daughter had met another minor on a social media app. They decided together that they were going to take her mom's life. What could this mother have done to deserve this? Well, she took that 14-year-old girl's phone away, following issues that the girl was having at home. The mom was not even aware of this 17-year-old boyfriend. The girl, 14 years old, was arraigned on August 14th on solicitation of murder and conspiracy to commit first-degree premeditated murder. Her bond was set at $1 million. The 17-year-old was also arraigned on the same date for conspiracy to commit first-degree premeditated murder and assault with intent to murder. His bond is $2.5 million. Both are being held, again, being charged as adults. And the prosecutor said on that, the level of criminal activity is unacceptable and we intend to treat it with the severity that it deserves. This is why we are seeking to charge these juveniles as adults, because when you commit adult crimes, you face adult consequences. Let me know your thoughts on this case. Now, I haven't used their name because the names have not been released as it states there. Do you see any similarities, or was that just my mind connecting something that's not there as far as Gypsy Rose Blanchard and Nicholas and Gypsy's mom and Nicholas and Gypsy meeting on the internet? Just crazy, but maybe there's just been so much Gypsy in the news that came to my mind. Let me know your thoughts. Again, thank goodness this mother was saved by another family member, scaring off this 17-year-old minor. Gypsy Rose Blanchard 2.0.
It's sick. By the way, those videos, you didn't look very malnourished to me. And how did you have so long to do these videos? If your mama was so on your ass. Lying ass little bitch. And then there's another guy, I don't know if it's the same person, I'm not sure, but he's over there defending Gypsy in a way. I kind of agree with him. I have to say this because this creator had shown Aurora, baby's face. I don't believe in that.
You have somebody's child as your background right now, but on a moral basis, where is that right for some people to do that? Tell me I'm
where
wrong.
is the right to accuse someone of being a child predator?
Tell me I'm wrong, and I'll give you an apology. I'll apologize in front of all these people.
You are wrong.
If you can explain to me how that is right to do to anybody's kid. You have somebody's child as...
Okay, that is something I'm totally against. Don't show me her face. It pisses me off. I don't want to see her. She's an innocent baby. And there's no reason for me to be I don't even like to bring her up, really. Okay? To me, she's completely out of the equation. I do wonder, though, did you dress her in those clothes that you stole for your baby with Nick? Because those, like Audrey said, those baby shoes were in the crime scene photos, and I guess there was a dryer sheet as well in that little box. And aren't you clever to steal all that stuff and steal, and then you know what that does? Society has to pay more for the crime you committed, who you hurt, how you affect people, nothing. You don't give a shit. That's why I don't give a shit about your feelings or anything, Gypsy Rose. Tell Ken, then one day when you got a knife in your back, you'll be fucking sitting there wishing you never were with her. I want people to be subscribed to my channel. And listen, you don't have to, if you don't want to. You don't have to like the video. But if you're here watching, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that's subscribed to me. I love my community so much. What I'm saying is nothing but the truth. A voice of reason. I'm tired of having to, I don't like talking about it constantly. But how else am I going to do it? I send my videos out to networks and stuff through email, whatever I got to do, in hopes that somebody watches it and gets it and makes a story about it or something. I'm doing my best to do what I can. I'm going to get off this fucking voice now because I'm just upset. You guys don't understand how important this channel is to me and how important getting the truth out is to me. It's really important. You understand? Auntie Mel is here now, and Auntie Mel says we gotta calm it down. We gotta start talking about some shit here that I figured out. And then it's funny because I see creators like the prison nurse and stuff posting videos trying to like show this stalker person or whoever this is, like you see what she did, right? And that's what's weird to me. Like, I could never. I'm sorry. I could never. I don't understand. And in one of her little stupid videos, she says, I could easily pass for like 12 or 13. Yeah, you did that at VisionCon, remember? And got a guy in trouble. But did you do anything to help him? No. Did you tell people that you were of age? No. So, I digress. And then she says, Dee Dee was the one that wrote all in caps. All the time. That's not true, Gypsy.
Gypsy's actions and reasoning skills are very adolescent preteen. She states she has very little formal education. She speaks intelligently, but doesn't reason things out very well. Her writing skills are fairly elementary. She's writing in a block letters. It appears that her mother and her treated
So Bree just read from Mike Stanfield's prep defense documents that Gypsy wrote in block letters, right? So does that mean... Wait. Gypsy said her mom wrote in all caps. That's how you knew it was her. So, what's the truth here? I don't know, Gypsy. What do we believe? Really? Because I just don't know. I don't know.
You are the one that writes all in caps and you can't spell. Your mom can spell. She was in the medical field and stuff. Your mom was smart. Remember that you have cognitive delays and you can't spell. And so whenever you wrote something, we knew it was you. You think you're slick. At that time, you must have thought, I don't know what the fuck you thought you were at that time, bitch. Because those texts, you were excited about this happening, all the shit. Afterwards, Nick's crying and like losing his mind from the trauma of what he just did. And stop crying is all you could say.
AKA you're a sociopath.
A few questions on my last post about Gypsy Rose ringing this bell and what it means. This commenter is correct. Gypsy Rose was ringing the bell because of her lymphoblastic leukemia. Some hospitals let the patients ring the bell after they finish like their chemotherapy treatment, radiation, or other cancer treatments. Call this the victory bell ring. Marks a significant milestone in their journey and represents a celebration of the resilience and triumph over the disease. Some hospitals and cancer centers also let the patient ring the bell, hit other milestones like achieving remission, celebrating a birthday, anniversary, or cancer-free status. One thing you cannot fake is leukemia. You may can put a drop of blood in your urine and fake a UTI, but honey, you can't fake them white cell counts. You can't fake that hemoglobin test. You definitely can't fake fucking positive results that, oh, you're in remission. Leukemia is why Gypsy Rose originally got her Make-A-Wish trip. He was in the paper in Louisiana when this went down. This is Dee Dee commenting right here on some of the things they got to do on their Disney Make-A-Wish trip and how they had money left over to get their rolls of film developed and their medicine. This little red bubble, Dee Dee says, we can't wait to see what the new year brings us. It will have to be something really outstanding to beat the great year we just had. Some more pictures from that whole Make-A-Wish trip they had. Oh, look, Gypsy in some water swimming with dolphins. Damn near look like she's standing up in that picture. Ain't that something? I first admit that I used to literally believe that the cancer story was just a con until I started digging and I found all the stuff from Make-A-Wish. The other thing that stuck out to me is all their fundraisers. When they're in Missouri, she's never saying that Gypsy has cancer. She said Gypsy had a history of lymphoblastic leukemia. They weren't actively claiming that Gypsy had cancer. Also is mentioned in Gypsy Rose's medical records that she had leukemia at 5. Lastly, the fact her hair was always short from a small child. There's not one picture of Gypsy with long hair until she got out of prison. Also Rod and Christy. Ain't no damn way Gypsy Rose was living in Louisiana around her damn family, an hour away from her, and Gypsy didn't know her age. They don't know about the cancer story. There's just no fucking way. Unless Rod and Christy were actively helping in the con. Also, what are these bald spots right here? Is Gypsy losing her hair? Trichotillomania shit. You got that? I'm gonna tell you, ain't no damn way if my mama was shaving my head and I didn't want it like that, I'd get out of prison after 10 years and then actively cut shorter and shorter till one whole half is shaved the fuck off again. Hey, this is all alleged entertainment purposes only, friend. My opinion. But you know how I got here, because Gypsy Rose with the bullshit.
You're sick. And Gypsy Rose, you very much had leukemia. Stop fucking lying. You did have leukemia. At 5 years old. You went into remission. And then there's proof that Rod knew, that Christy knew, everybody knew. So, I don't understand why you lied. I don't get it. Your delusion is diabolical. And that's what fascinates me about you. And another reason why I do these Truth Train videos is because the delusion is fucking like, and I'm trying my best I enjoy studying people. And so, studying you, though, has been a trip. A trip. You're like all compacted to a 5'2" body full of evil. I feel so bad for Aurora. I don't mean to bring her up, but there's times I think about her and I worry about that child. Donations were even collected for you for your cancer and stuff. And that's why you went on the Make-A-Wish trips, Gypsy Rose. They don't just hand them out. They don't just say, hey, oh, we thought you had cancer, but I guess you did, but here, you want to go anyway? No, that's not how it fucking works. And you were never, ever chained to a bed. In fact, that's something your cognitive delayed brain came up with, even when you were talking to Nick before the murder happened, talking about having a dog collar on and a leash and all this shit, and you made that up about your mother. That never fucking happened. Never fucking happened. And your salivary glands were removed because you had 2 of them removed. Okay, not all of them. All right? You were excessively drooling because of your high arched palate in your mouth. And that's why you do the tongue thrusting and everything else. Because you had trouble. What? You had trouble what? Swallowing. Sorry, Ken. Like I said, you very much had leukemia at 5 years old. You weren't gaining any weight. You were literally 37 pounds, I think, at like 9 or 10 years old, Becca Scoop said.
I'm a big crawfish fan.
Oh, shrimp. I never had crawfish, only shrimp.
Okay.
As far as seafood goes, I've had fried fish and shrimp.
Okay. Yeah, seafood's probably my favorite. It's really good. Shrimp is probably my favorite food of all time.
Sauteed shrimp.
Any kind of shrimp. Except for the coconut stuff. It takes away the flavor from the shrimp.
Never had that.
No? The coconut breaded or whatever it is. Something like that. I just like plain old shrimp. Good stuff.
I like them either fried or sauteed. Fried is spaghetti.
And spaghetti?
And spaghetti.
I can't say I've ever had it in spaghetti. I think your shrimp's good with anything.
Yeah. But one of the things is, it's kind of like a jambalaya. So spaghetti is similar to a jambalaya. You just have to add slightly different ingredients.
For jambalaya?
For jambalaya. You add your shrimp and your smoked sausage and your other seasonings, but you put it over rice instead of spaghetti.
Oh, okay. I probably like that better. Yeah, I'm not a big spaghetti fan. Jambalaya sounds pretty good, though. Sounds pretty tasty.
That's insane. So yeah, you needed that feeding tube. You weren't thriving. You couldn't swallow. It doesn't. You must think, like, in your delayed ass brain that, like, everybody is stupid except for you. When it's the other way around, Gypsy Rose. I promise you that not all my videos are so tense. Sometimes, you've had enough. And it's like, the truth is not going to feel important to anybody I send my videos to unless I'm fucking serious about this shit and they can see that in my face and everything, how dedicated I am to this. Telling the truth and getting it out there. However I can. And every day I discover something new in the crime scene photos or in the interviews or whatever. Every time I turn around, I find something new. So yeah, I talk about it. And there's no proof in the home at all that you were ever chained to a bed. You can come up with some stories on a whim, girl. It's crazy to me.
Aren't I? Did I mumble, Mother? Or should I even call you that? Rapunzel, do you even hear yourself? Why would you ask such a ridiculous question? It was you! It was all you! And as for us, we are going where no one will ever find you again. Rapunzel, really? Enough already! Stop fighting me! No! I won't stop! For every minute of the rest of my life, I will fight! I will never stop trying to get away from you!
The movie Tangled is about Rapunzel. She's a princess in this kingdom, and she's kidnapped by Mother Gothel from her real family. And Mother Gothel keeps her in this tower for all of her life and tells her, don't leave this tower. So that is all she knows. At the end, Mother Gothel died. She got thrown out a window because Rapunzel tried to stand up for herself and leave her tower.
Aren't I?
But sociopaths are like that. The sociopaths with psychotic tendencies like you. Like I said, when doctors were treating her before 2011, they didn't know what they were exactly treating. So they're trying everything to figure it out. Think about that for a moment. Think about being a mother and sitting there with your child, knowing there's something fucking really wrong with her, but nobody knows what it is. Think about how worried, sick she must have been all the time. And then she had to constantly observe Gypsy because Gypsy was a mean little bitch from the beginning. And I feel like very much that Gypsy Rose, towards the end especially, controlled Dee Dee. She told Dee Dee what we were going to do, how we were going to do it. That's the way it was. And also, Gypsy, your hands were really bruised. Let me bring that up again because it seems to me that by the bruising on your mom's wrists, that there was some kind of defense going on. So I feel like, and somebody had said that Dee Dee had been handcuffed. I mean, I believe very much that you had a whole part in that murder of your mother. That you may have sat in the bathroom for the first part of it, but before he got there, you'd already had your little fun because you believed in this evil within yourself that wasn't really there. Schizophrenia, 1Q2 1.1 microdeletion symptom. Right the fuck there. And this course of action of taking out your salivary glands was something that went on for a couple years that they had to discuss and everything. You can't put Orajel in someone's mouth and think they're going to sit there and drool. You know why? Because it dries your mouth out. Yeah, you might drool a little bit, but not excessively to the point where they were talking about with Gypsy Rose. Common sense is common, I know, but we have to start thinking clearly. Didi didn't have the power to demand anything to be fucking done. What is she going to do? Go in there and demand, take my daughter's salivary glands out. I can't take it anymore. No, that's not what happened.
Salivary one morning, and just Gypsy Rose's mama did not wake up one morning and just say, you know what? We should get Gypsy's salivary glands removed. In fact, it's something that had been being considered since 2004 while she was in New Orleans. Meaning it took roughly 3 years of trial and error to determine that that was the best option. And why did they do it? It says right here, seems to drool and pull secretions in the back of her throat while sleeping overnight. And that is her mother's main complaint, sleep disturbance. And her doctor had suspected that the excess pulling was what was causing her sleep issues. And the doctor that seen her on this day was not her typical doctor, because her other doctor was out on a leave of absence. So he had questioned if they had ever had a barium swallow test done. And Gypsy's mama was like, you know what? I'm not sure if we have or not. But Gypsy did have a sleep study done, and the report from that study indicated that it was mildly abnormal with evidence of mild nocturnal hyperventilation. And I know I'm about to get the comments that are, oh, her mom put Oragel in her mouth. Oragel lasts like 2 hours. Meanwhile, the sleep study on average takes about 8. This doctor recommended, hey, go get the barium swallow issue done, and also you need to see speech therapy. And they suggest 2 options. The possibility of ligating the parotid duct or the removal of the salivary gland, which they did not do for another 3 years because they wanted to try other options first. Because that's kind of how medical works, despite what Gypsy would have you think. Oh, and let's go back and look at this date again of 2004, because I want to point this out. Gypsy's attending school and doing quite well. Gypsy would have been 12 at this time. Yet she says she only went to 2nd grade. Another little bonus. Everybody always asks, why was Gypsy's mom always saying different things? Maybe it's explained by this. However, Gypsy's mother tells me that due to an auto accident that she was in, her memory of events greater than 2 years ago is quite sketchy. So maybe her mom just genuinely did not remember. Gypsy Rose's mom...
That's not what happened. Gypsy Rose said once in Bree's live stream that she had her head shaved the first time for childhood cancer. I heard that too. I heard that she had done it with Didi because Didi was diagnosed, but I don't know for sure. All I know is that she doesn't seem to have a trigger of, she shaves her head all the time now, wears wigs all the time. You'd think that if it was something from trauma that she wouldn't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know that, things that traumatized me in my past, I don't want anything to do with it anymore. I mean, you were there, you rung the cancer bell when you went into remission. With your radiation scars right there on your fucking forehead. I mean, come on. It's crazy. And Gypsy Rose, in your own book, this might be a longer video, I apologize. I know, but sometimes people like the longer ones. You can put it on, you can clean your house, whatever. You can listen to me yell and bitch and all that, and you can, either join in and yell with me or tell me to shut up and turn it down. I don't know. In her own words, she says, it didn't matter whose hand held the knife or whose impulse it was to try to cut a dead woman's head off. What the fuck are you talking about? That right there is a play on words. I see through that big time. Your hand was on that knife trying to cut her head off. Out of what, anger? What was that about? Do you know how hard it is to remove someone's head? I talked about how I used to do autopsies, okay? You know what one of my jobs was? I had to wear a big mask, right? I had to take this little saw. It was like this big around, and it had a handle on it, right? And I had to saw open the skull here, go down ear to ear, right? But their heads were back here, so it's like, peel the skin back, scalping them, basically. That's hard as fuck, okay? Pull back the skull, because the brain is attached, you can't just rip it out, okay? And we don't want to do that anyways, because you probably could, but you don't want to do that. Then I take the scalpel, cut around the brain, lightly. Take it out, and I would weigh it. Okay? So, one thing that I know for sure, because I talked about it with the coroner, is it's very, very difficult to remove someone's head. If someone's decapitated, they was fucking slammed hard in the neck to get their head off. Gypsy Rose was trying to saw it off. That right there tells me so fucking much. And the reports from women that was locked up with you that said, hey, she said she went into the room after her mother passed away. She went in there and was cleaning up the blood. And why the fuck were you doing it while you were naked?
Probably to staff request from inmate Flores, who was incarcerated in the Greene County Justice Center on unrelated charges. Flores stated she had information about the homicide Gypsy was involved in. I made contact with Flores and escorted her into the interview room. The interview room was video recorded and logged into evidence. The following is not intended to be a transcript, but a summation of the interview. Flores said she wanted, quote, immunity for telling me about what she heard Gypsy say when she was housed in the same cell with her. I told Flores I could not help her out with her case, and I could not promise her anything. Flores said she was not a snitch, but she knows a lot about Gypsy's case. Flores said Gypsy was, quote, creepy smart, and she does not want to see Gypsy get away with, quote, it, referring to the murder. Flores continued to tell me she did not want to give up information without being helped in some way. Flores stated before Gypsy came to jail, she supported Gypsy. Flores asked Gypsy if she had, quote, sought Nicholas out, end quote, referring to Gypsy seeking Nicholas out to kill her mother. Gypsy told Flores, quote, I probably did, end quote. Flores began to tell me some things Gypsy had told her about the murder. She mentioned how Nicholas had a cut on his finger from stabbing Claudinia. Flores told me Gypsy told her she cleaned up the blood from the, quote, bed to the bathroom, end quote, using, quote, carpet cleaner and wipes, end quote. Flores began to tell me some things Gypsy had told her about the murder. She mentioned how Nicholas had a cut on his finger from stabbing Claudinia. Flores told me Gypsy told her she cleaned up the blood from the, quote, bed to the bathroom, end quote, using, quote, carpet cleaner and wipes, end quote. During my interview with Gypsy, she told me several times she did not go into her mother's room after she was dead. Gypsy told Flores she cleaned up, quote, pretty good, end quote. Flores said Gypsy would talk about missing her, quote, stuffed animals, and Flores could not remember what kind of stuffed animals it was. Gypsy tried to use one of Flores's friends to pass a note to Nicholas, and Flores said she got upset with Gypsy and told her she was not going to use her friend to pass note. Flores admitted to me Gypsy had told on her for having a misdemeanor amount of marijuana, but Flores said this was not the reason she was talking to me. Flores gave me two other inmates' names, Markayla Lutz and Mariah Rodriguez, who she said wanted to talk to me. Flores said Gypsy's attorney went to Louisiana to visit Gypsy's family. Flores mentioned how Gypsy had told on more than one occasion while they were housed in the same cell together that, quote, I am going to get away with this, end quote, referring to the murder. Gypsy told Flores what Nicholas was saying when he stabbed Claudinia. Flores said Gypsy told her Nicholas was saying, quote, you are going to be dead before this happens, end quote, while he was stabbing Claudinia. Flores said Gypsy started talking in the cell one night to her, Lutt, and Rodriguez about how she put the knife in Nicholas's hand and told him to go kill her mother. Flores told me Gypsy told her she turned the air conditioner down to 40 degrees to preserve her mother's body, and she cleaned up the blood, including blood in the bedroom. Flores said Gypsy told her she went into Claudine's bedroom after she was dead and took $5,000 out of a drawer from a table beside her mom's bed. Flores said the money was in a zipper-type bag.
Listen, My uncle who had schizophrenia used to do shit like that. That's another reason I fucking know that your microdeletion has caused you every symptom it causes, even though you say it doesn't. Okay? And schizophrenia develops later in life. And I believe that in your 20s is when it started. Yeah. You are a sick little bitch. You need to get some fucking help before you end up doing something stupid again. Stop talking to that autistic man, because knowing you'll get tempted, start grooming him, and end up unaliving someone else. And then I'm going to have to take my happy ass to prison to go with you, because I'm going to beat your ass. Also, okay, this is the good part, right? Okay, I want to talk about this. One thing that I learned when in the academy, because I went, and that was before I did autopsies with the coroner. Okay, but we were learning about blood splatter. Now, I'm not saying I'm an expert at blood splatter, but I was speculating some blood drops that are in the home at the end of the bed and also down the hallway. Now, if somebody was okay, I should put this on a drawing. Okay, right here is the bed, right? Okay. Where is DD? I think she was over here. Yeah, she was over here. All right. This is the door. This is where the blood drops was on the floor. Okay. Then you come down here. Down the hallway. There's blood drops on the wall and stuff. Okay, see? You see what I'm talking about? Now, I think that Gypsy aided in the crime coming around this way, right? Because there's stab wounds there that would coincide with her being right-handed and coming around the bed. Because you think about it, coming around the bed like this, she's got her right hand up with a knife in it, stabbing her mom in the back, right? And then she flings it back up. Blood goes where? That way, behind her, onto the floor in front of the bed. Most of it probably got on the bed, but there was some that came off, probably was on the floor. Now, she's going down the hallway, right? Probably with that knife or Nick or whatever. But whatever. What side was it on? I forgot. I gotta look. Where Nick came in, he was probably going over here. Okay? And again, the knife goes in, comes up, blood goes that way. I mean, it could very well have been on the ceiling if they were stabbing hard enough. And it seems like they were, because she had her lungs punctured and a fucking atrium of her heart, the right atrium, I believe, of her heart was punctured. So you really did hit her hard with that knife. So, I mean, I hope you guys understood what I was saying. I apologize for my terrible drawing right now, but you get what you get, don't throw fit. Okay, the blood splatter in the hallway was on the left side. So if they're coming out of the room, right, and say Gypsy's got it in her right hand, so she wouldn't be flinging blood to the left, but who's left-handed? Nick. So if he goes down that hallway with a knife and he's like nervous, shaking, or whatever, the blood's going to get on the left side of the wall, right? That is consistent with it being Nick. But Gypsy being right-handed, now if she was walking out of the bathroom though and going towards the bedroom with the knife bloody, which I don't know, then it being in her right hand, it would hit the left side of the wall. So it's hard to tell. Not sure, because one way would be Nick, one way would be Gypsy. We just, it's all speculation. But you've got to think about it. Like, think about how hard that knife is penetrating. Now, usually what happens, it just like did happen, when you are stabbing someone, your hand slips because of the blood. The blood is so slippery, right? Nick cut his finger. Okay? So, not only his blood, but Dee Dee's blood too. So, he stabs, brings the knife up. Like I said, it goes backward behind him, onto the bed, into the floor, in front of the bed. And it's true that Gypsy Rose had, like I said, bruised ass fingers, blood on her shirt that she wore like a trophy, which is what serial killers usually do. And it shows here that, something like a bruise or whatever on the body, like, maybe you were taking some anger out on your mother before you actually took her life. I believe wholeheartedly that your mother was scared of you and the things that you would say and do. I think you threatened her all the time. You could see it in your face. And then on top of it, Gypsy Rose, were you trying to die while you were in prison? Because I found some stuff saying that you was a fucking snitch. You know what happens to people that snitch? When they find out who you are? You couldn't be accountable for what you did, but by God, you're going to tell on somebody in prison and get them in trouble. Who the fuck are you? It's like listening to somebody that ain't shit about another person. What? It just fucking is crazy to me. You know, and we all know that these other two women decided they were going to go and talk about what you told them in the cell. So they made their own statements about you, Gypsy. That's been talked about, yes. But at the same time, you literally got out of prison, you literally went to prison, and you're telling about it all the time that you did this, right? But then, when you get out, you sit in front of people on a podcast and say, I'm not a murderer. I didn't do it. Blah, blah, blah. Bitch, what? After seeing these videos and really realizing, like looking in your eyes and seeing what I see, there's no doubt in my mind that you did shit to your mother that you'll never tell about. And then, like I said, Nick cut himself. So the blood splatter on the left side of the wall, I don't know which hand he cut, but it could also have been his if he was flinging his, before he got to the bathroom. Who knows? And then she said that Nicholas was supposed to rape Gypsy or Dee Dee. But later on, we find out it was all a fantasy. He didn't end up raping Dee Dee, but he did end up having role-playing rape with Gypsy, whatever the fuck that is. She told this one girl in jail that Nick raped her anally and vaginally. And it's so concerning because I'm sorry. I'm lost and I'm like, sometimes it's like my brain just stops wanting to work because I'm just so overwhelmed by everything, And then Gypsy said she cleaned the blood from her mom while her mom was unalive. But I thought you didn't go in her room, like I said before. You were naked cleaning up her blood. But see, and it's like Gypsy Rose, you cleaned up where? Because there's a lot of blood everywhere that you didn't touch. So, I'm just saying. Maybe it's because you're short. I don't know. There was $10,000 that was in the nightstand originally, but then Dee Dee went and put money down on a new car, a 2011 Nissan Cube. She had put down money on April 19th, 2015. Sadly, though, 2 months later, she wasn't with us anymore to drive that new car. And then Gypsy and Nick, oh God, the rules between them and their children. You guys probably seen the video, I'm sure. The sick encounter, Gypsy saying that her own daughter would get raped by her own father. And then she says to somebody in prison that she planned that because Nick apparently was into incest. But you never said that he was a 500-year-old vampire. But I forgot, well, that's got to be secret. And you were missing your Barney stuffed animal in prison, I heard, too. Boy, poor thing, Mr. Barney doll in a bottle. I'm so sorry you had to suffer like that. And that's proof right there that Nicholas was groomed by Gypsy completely. If you look at the way in this video of him talking to Gypsy, she's obviously written him something to read because he looks exactly like he's reading something off like an outline or a completely full written script. Okay.
Preferred to make this short, but I had to go in depth. Alright, this is 8 minutes. I preferred to make this short, but I had to go in depth just because I had to make sure you both understood what I'm talking about here. So now, you want to make sure you add all the stuff I just mentioned into your list that you make of what to remember for your video. And you do the same thing, Gypsy, since I did give you a lot to remember too. Alright, this is 8 minutes. I preferred to make this short, but I had to go in depth just because I had to make sure you both understood what I'm talking about here. So now, you want to make sure you add all the stuff I just mentioned into your list that you make of what to remember for your video. And you do the same thing, Gypsy, since I did give you a lot to remember too. Alright, this is 8 minutes. I preferred to make this short, but I had to go in depth just because I had to make sure you both understood what I'm talking about here. So now, you want to make sure you add all the stuff I just mentioned into your list that you make of what to remember for your video. And you do the same thing, Gypsy, since I did give you a lot to remember too.
It's even like, it looks like he practiced a little bit too. I mean, that's crazy. And do you think that Nick looked really scary in that video? I mean, did he seem to you like a very scary 500-year-old vampire?
You're so annoying.
No. And then another inmate in prison came out and said that you were creepily smart, which is probably true, but in a lot of ways not. And then this is how you affect the youth, Gypsy Rose. I wanted to show you this earlier, but this is exactly how you affect the youth, and this is exactly why I'm riding this truth train all the way to the destination of putting your bullshit out there. And yeah, it is an expose because the rest of the world doesn't listen to the truth.
I just want to show you what type of person Gypsy is, and she sent this to another creator. It says, hey, so I know you've been making videos about me and you're just mad because I got out and blew up and you didn't. I'm not going to write a lot on here so you can use it against me, but whatever friendship we had is dead. Whatever I do with my life is my business. So she acts like she doesn't want the fame. She does. She wants it. She wants to be an influencer, but she's also influencing the wrong people. She's influencing younger children to be okay with often their parents or their mothers as well. And someone even did a project in school about her, and some school is doing like a true crime thing where they have to read about Gypsy, which I don't think is cool. What are your thoughts?
Somebody tell me that's not an expose. I need to expose her to the mainstream people. We know what happened. We know the story. We know the lies. What I'm trying to do is connect to those people that don't. Let them see this shit. And there was some other ways that you was considering to unalive your mom other than the BB gun and how you ended up doing it, which was the most brutal, gruesome way you could have if you were thinking about these other things. What the fuck? Is strangling, rape, poisoning, or stabbing. How are you going to kill someone by graping them? Let me ask you that though. All of it is just so disturbing. It really, it's hard to sit here and try to pick it apart because it's just like, I think about those videos, I think about things she said, I think about all the lies, the deceit, all the people that defend her on top of it, it's just so wild to me that we are living in a society where we are debating on whether or not Gypsy Rose unalived her own mother and whether or not she should be on social media acting as if she's an influencer, actually influencing these teen girls.
It's official, honey. Gypsy Rose is out here giving everybody a sneak peek at her new set for her podcast. She is in people's comments talking about, yes, this podcast will include everyday people who want to share their lived experiences and experts and advocates who have dedicated their lives to spreading awareness and creating change around abuse and trauma. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. I am so interested to see what experts, what advocates are going to join her podcast. I wonder if Dr. Feldman will come on there. Probably not, because she won't want that damn diagnosis that Dr. Feldman gave her, a sociopathy coming up, honey. Anyway, Gypsy said healing, education, and advocacy all matter, and I believe the most important conversations happen when real voices and professional insight exist side by side. Come on, ma'am, how the hell do you know the most powerful conversations happen when real voices and professionals come together when you lie to all them damn professionals, ma'am? You made it sound like, oh, it was just my mommy, I didn't know anything, and Nick made me do those things. But we know that isn't true, ma'am. We have seen the videos. You are not worried about your mom catching you making videos in the car, that she would catch you making videos outside your house, showing the sheds and the greenhouse and where y'all could get busy outside at night. The only thing you were worried about was convincing Nick Godejohn of taking your mother's life and getting your damn comic book. Her whole story has been a damn sham. I don't know any abuse survivor or trauma survivor who would just willingly trust you with their story, considering how you butchered your own and now you sit on live and talk about, I don't know which memory is real, I don't know what's fake. Then you turn around and wrote a whole book about the shit, knowing that there were inconsistencies, but you think people are going to get on a podcast and trust you with their story. I mean, anything's possible. We'll have to wait and see, but let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Do you think Gypsy is going to get this podcast up and running? Do you think real experts and advocates are just going to hop up on her podcast as guests? Let me know what y'all think, man. Now look here, this is just my opinion for entertainment purposes only, honey, but this is not all ledge. You know what she did, that shit.
Listen to this. It says her Gypsy Rose is coming out because her mom got her a triple mango instead of a cherry ice. Maybe it's a joke to that girl, but it's not a joke at the same time. And then, Ken, you are so lost in Gypsy's manipulation. You are so lost in it. You are in the web of hers, and you are caught up. You are cocooned. It's over with for you, baby. It's over with. I mean, either that or you're playing stupid for some reason. Because I don't care. If I was going out with Gypsy Rose, I would be watching all of this shit about her and trying to figure her out and being like, what the fuck? I don't know if I can be with you. What if you do this to me or my daughter? I mean, it's serious business. And you know what's funny is that Gypsy Rose's manipulation can really get to a person that's not autistic. Think about how she's affecting the neurodivergent autistic people that she seems to like to stay in contact with and, grift from and whatever else, which only encourages him to keep the behavior up. But again, do you know how autistic brains work? You must, because they have obsessive behaviors where they will obsess over one thing to the point where that's what affects their entire fucking life. And you know that, Gypsy Rose. I think you know that. And I think you play on that. And now you've got another one that you're working on. That's so fucking sick to me and so wild. I don't know. Somebody should put a stop to it. That's one thing I know for sure. And why are you taking gifts from somebody like that? Why? What if you put something in the clothing? You put it on your daughter. Next thing you know, you don't know what's going on. She's having some kind of a reaction. I mean, anything can happen. And they get fixated on people. They usually find favorite people. It's very much like, that's the reason why borderline personality disorder often is misdiagnosed, because that person's just autistic. Because a lot of the traits, the obsessive behavior, the favorite person, there's a few other things I can't think off the top of my head. But what I'm saying here is that it's very concerning that she's in communication with somebody who is autistic again, being that she is who she is. And it just doesn't look like it would be a good outcome if the friendship continues. And also, you told Nick that he had to be violent to prove his love to you. Is that what you're going to tell this guy too? Demona? When are you going to start introducing your characters? And then Nina got shadow banned. Why are you trying to silence Nina? Nina's got, her own platform. She should be able to say her opinion about you and what's going on. She's been in your life for how long? She's like family, Gypsy. I'm just kidding, Nina. I'm just kidding. And then Gypsy Rose, you were just as delusional back then as you are today. It's crazy to me. And you're trying so hard to be this mommy vlogger, but guess what? YouTube's not having it. We don't want you here. Do you understand? Keep your fucking little gremlin ass out over on TikTok, where you belong. So, supposedly. You're losing your following over there a little bit, so I don't know anymore. The only platform I go on that really defends Gypsy hardcore is Instagram. So, Instagram people, what's wrong with you? You got something wrong? Why are you defending Gypsy Rose? Have you done your research and learned everything that happened, all the lies, all the bullshit? Because if you did, and you still support her, you need to go to the doctor. Let me know where your area is, and we can look up therapists or something for you. Like, seriously. So, Jojo, I found some stuff on Reddit. Is this you talking about Gypsy Rose comparing her to Ed Gein? So I thought, I'm going to try it. So I tried it. I went on ChatGPT and I said, what are the similarities between and differences between Gypsy Rose Blanchett and Ed Gein? And I got a good answer. Ed Gein, let's talk about who he was. He was a Wisconsin grave robber and murderer, active in the 1950s, okay? He was actually the inspiration for the movies Psycho, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Silence of the Lambs.
Augusta Wilhelmine Gein was born on July 21st, 1878, and married George Gein in 1900. The couple had two children, Henry and Ed. Augusta was a domineering wife. She was the head of the household for sure. A strong-willed, very, very religious woman who would recite the story of Noah and the great flood from the Bible all the time. She predicted the same would happen because of the promiscuity of women nowadays. Gypsy Rose's mother was very caring and loving and sweet and would give her anything under the sun that she could offer, whereas Ed Gein resented his mother for being truly evil to him and a religious dominant over him. He didn't lie. You did.
And he's known for creating items out of human skin. Gypsy Rose Blanchett presents as a victim, but we all know that Gypsy Rose lied about it all. She's participated in the unaliving of her own mother, and they both got mother issues, you understand? They both had issues with their mother. But she's also reinvented herself many times, which is basically what Ed Gein did when he made the mask out of other human faces, all sewed it all together.
If you ever want to sleep again, you'll scroll away right now because this is the story of a man even more terrifying than the horror movie icons he inspired, like Buffalo Bill, Leatherface, and Norman Bates. This is the nightmarish true story of Ed Gein. I'm Mel Z. I talk about death, true crime, and weird pop culture stuff, so if you're a weirdo too, follow me. Ed Gein was born in La Crosse, Wisconsin in 1906 and was raised in rural isolation. His household was dominated by his fervently religious mother, Augusta, who was controlling and abusive.
Augusta was actually very controlling and abusive, whereas Gypsy Rose tries to claim that Dee Dee was that way when she was not. Augusta didn't want her sons obsessed with the sins of the world. Ed just was obsessed with his mother, but his older brother Henry did not share the infatuation. Gypsy Rose was a sexual deviant, and Ed Gein's mother, just like Dee Dee, would not have had that.
And instilled a crippling shame and fear of sex and women in her two sons. Augusta preached that women were inherently evil, and Ed internalized his devotion and fear and believed that his mother was his only moral anchor. Ed's father, George Gein, died in 1940 from heart failure related to chronic alcoholism. Ed's older brother Henry was disturbed by Ed's obsession with their mother and would often speak poorly of her. In 1944, when he was found dead on the family property after a fire, his death was officially ruled accidental, but later accounts found bruising on his head, and suspicions persist that Ed was likely responsible for his death. After Henry's death, Ed and his mother were now alone on the farm. Just a year later, though, Augusta suffered another stroke and died, leaving Ed alone and obsessed with her memory. Ed became obsessed with the idea of bringing his mother back from the dead, and starting in the 1950s, he began exhuming bodies from the local cemetery of middle-aged women who he thought resembled his mother. The family farm became a house of horrors. He had made lampshades from human skin, bowls out of skulls, masks out of human faces, and he'd begun work on what he called a woman's suit, which would allow him to become his mother and actually crawl into her skin.
Ed Gein was infatuated with his mother, whereas Gypsy Rose hated her mother. Ed Gein tried to reinvent his mother after death, while Gypsy Rose has done nothing but destroy her mother after death and even beforehand with Nick. It has been disgusting and vile to hear the things that she's had to say about her mother and seeing that her mother was not the monster that she wanted her to be.
The house was the stuff of nightmares, and a neighbor boy actually told police at one point that he had seen shrunken heads in Ed Gein's house, but nobody seemed to believe him. The house was filled with his findings in the local graves, and in 1954 his behavior intensified when he actually murdered a woman, Mary Hogan. In 1957, he murdered a shop owner, Bernice Warden, who police later found in a horrendous state in his barn. Police began investigating and discovering all of his macabre collection. A sheriff who was on scene was reportedly so traumatized by what he saw that his health deteriorated and he died shortly after. His family believes that it was because of his experience with Ed Gein. Gein was arrested and questioned and admitted to everything and recounted the murders as well as the grave robberies and what he'd been doing in his house. In court, he was initially found mentally incompetent and was institutionalized, but later, in 1968, he was found competent to stand trial and was found guilty of murder but legally insane, so confined to a mental health facility. While he was in prison, his house burned down. It was likely an act of arson, and shortly after, what was left of the property and the belongings on site were put up for auction. Hundreds of people showed up to buy souvenirs from this horror house. His car that he reportedly transported bodies in was sold at auction and turned into a carnival exhibit where the operator would charge 25 cents for people to look inside Ed Gein's ghoul car. Over time, the community protested the morbid spectacle, and the car was eventually put out of commission, and now nobody really knows where it is. It's supposedly just lost to time. In 1984, Ed Gein died from respiratory failure from lung cancer. He was buried in the family plot in Plainsfield, Wisconsin. His grave became a dark tourist attraction and initially looked like this when he was buried, but slowly as visitors began chipping away at his grave, it started to really deteriorate until eventually it was stolen in the year 2000, and now it looks like this. Basically just a patch of grass with an unmarked grave. The Gein property is now just an empty lot. This is what it looked like at the time of his arrest, and this is what it looks like now. In the end, Ed Gein was laid to rest in the very cemetery that he had unearthed so many others, among the graves of women whose bodies he desecrated in the town he terrorized.
You know, it's funny. Gypsy Rose robbed her mother while Eddie was out there robbing. Ed Gein was driven by severe mental illness, delusions, and mother obsession and fantasy. Gypsy Rose had mental issues that came with her 1Q21.1 microdeletion, but Gypsy Rose is also very delusional. Gypsy Rose was also mother obsessed, but it was to take her mother's life and rid her of her, basically. Gypsy Rose was so obsessed with it for over 2 years. She just kept on trying, though, and she wouldn't just leave. Gypsy Rose lives in her own fantasy and fairy tale land in her own brain, I swear. Ed Gein's crimes came from a completely distorted reality. But I believe that Gypsy Rose was also living in a distorted reality that is very similar to Ed Gein's. Gypsy Rose's motives were to get rid of her mom for Wiener. Gypsy Rose manipulates people for sympathy, attention, and public image, not survival. She also contradicts and changes her story over and over and exaggerates everything. Gypsy Rose's abusive narrative shifts depending on the interview, documentary, or audience. She understands very much what she did. Ed Gein put direct hands on violence, grave robbing, dismemberment, and murder. Gypsy Rose was considered not violent herself, but planned and orchestrated her mom's unaliving for 2 fucking years, cleaned up her blood, ran away with her boyfriend, calculated, premeditated decision rather than a panicked escape. Afterwards, Gypsy Rose posted about it online, ran away with her boyfriend, showed no visible shock or trauma from the events that happened, just kept on going. Ed Gein, though, might have been delusional, but he was not known for changing his stories for attention. And Ed Gein's mental illness drove his behavior, not manipulation of the public. Gypsy Rose is known for lying about so many different things: age, illness, abilities, details of the murder, details of her mother. Ed Gein is an infamous murderer, Gypsy Rose. And on Reddit, they're trying to compare you to him. I found that to be hilarious. And I found it to be great because my best friend Jojo. Okay, but in a little while here, I'm going to be going live to discuss these videos and these jail phone calls and interrogations between Christy and Rod. Today's actually going to be my live stream extravaganza because I plan on being live for a while. So check that out if you haven't already, because that's probably going to go up before this video. So I hope you check it out. It's going to be a longer live stream, but hey, skip through parts you don't want to see or whatever if you want to. But I'm sorry also for being so heavy and and he did earlier in the video. I just want you to know what I'm about and how passionate I am about the truth and getting the truth out there and thinking about the many different things that were missed in the crime scene and trying to, just be the voice out there that's spreading the truth through those lies. But thank you for coming here to watch. I love you with all my heart. Become a member. It says $2.99 right now, but I'm going to change it to $1.99 because I thought it was $1.99 the whole time. But you get your videos a day early, okay? You get special stickers in the live streams. You know what I'm saying? What else? Oh, shout outs in the videos, stuff like that. I'm trying to think of more things we can come up with. I thought about doing a members only live stream where we do like the true crime trivia and stuff. That may be fun. But I love you guys, and I will talk to you next time. Have a good day, night, morning, whatever it is. Baby girl's done with this video, bitch.